Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the postgame press conference of the second round in the 2023 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship hosted at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. A reminder that the open locker room portion for Indiana has begun and will close at 11 p.m. On the dais from Indiana, we are joined by head coach Teri Moren, freshman Yarden Garzon, and senior Mackenzie Holmes. Coach Moore will have you make an opening statement, followed by questions for the student-athletes.
Well, first of all, congratulations to Miami for coming in here tonight and playing extremely well. We were not surprised by how hard they played and how well they played. It's a big moment, and I'm sure Coach is excited that they stepped up and delivered them a victory, over our basketball team. I felt like it was a game of runs. They had more runs in the first half than we had. But then, like we always do, we fight our way back in to games. It took us a minute to get it tied up, but then, it seesawed back and forth. We ran out of time there, unfortunately. And, I'm disappointed for our players. I'm disappointed for Grace Berger. I'm obviously, in particular Grace Berger, because this is the last time that, we will see her on our roster. But we're disappointed. It stings, it hurts, but it should if you're competitors and it means anything to you, the way these kids work. Like I told them, if they didn't have tears and they weren't emotional, then I would wonder what all of the hard work was for. And I'm so proud and grateful for these kids. I love every one of them. They give us their best every single day. And I'm so proud of them. And as I said to them, when the dust settles, we're going to look back at all the memories that we made this season. It was special on so many accounts. It hurts now, but, this team will go down in history as one of the very best. And, for that, I'm grateful that our staff and I have had the opportunity to be around them for the last, it feels like 5 or 6 months.
Thank you, Coach. Miami's locker room is also open now. We'll take questions for the student-athletes. If you're joining the room, please raise your hand, state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. And if you're joining us on Zoom, please use the raise your hand function, and we'll take questions near the end if time allots.
For Mackenzie, Lou Friedman from the Seymour Tribune. What are your emotions like now? I know can you process the last minute, where you had chances and everything was so tight there?
Yeah, it's hard to put into words right now. Obviously, I'm upset, my last game with Grace, and it's been a privilege to play with her these past 4 years, so I just hate that it has to end like this for her, but just a lot of emotions in our locker room right now.
Well, it hurts to go out this way. This is for either of you. How does it, knowing that you've built what you've built, that you can come back every year and take another shot at it? I know it's bitter now, but the fact that you're going to come back next year with every chance to be just as good, does that give any silver linings, even if it's not right away?
Yeah, it's hard to think about that right now, with this is stinging right now. So, obviously, we'll take a couple days, couple weeks and, process everything. And then we can think about next season. But right now, it's a little too early to be thinking about that.
Yarden, anything to add?
Nope. She said no.
For Yarden or Mackenzie, what was the biggest difference maker in this game for you guys?
Like Coach said, it was a game of runs, and in that first half, we dug ourselves a hole, and we got ourselves out of it, but it just came down to the last shot.
Yes, Dave Reinhardt, WCBK Radio. Mackenzie, could you walk us through a couple of the last couple timeouts, boy, the excitement, the seconds are ticking down, the score is so close. Just some of your thoughts and something you might want to share with us.
Yeah, I thought down the stretch there, we got good looks. Not all of them fell, but we had some great plays drawn up by our coaches. But it's unfortunate they didn't go in, but we were prepared in those moments.
Haley Jordan, Sports Illustrated. Yarden, you have one season with Indiana under your belt. What's it like playing for this decorated Hoosiers team for you?
I mean, I'm grateful to be here and to play for those coaches and with those teammates, but right now it just hurt.
For either of you, did you expect the game to be as physical as it was between the two teams?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Power 5 team, so we knew that coming in. They were an aggressive, physical team, so we were preparing for that.
Is there anything else in the room for the student athletes? We'll give one chance to those of you joining us on Zoom. Use the raise your hand function. If not, ladies, thank you for joining us. You may join your team back in the open locker room. A reminder, Indiana's locker room will close at 11 p.m. Miami's will close at 11:02. We'll now take questions for Coach Moren. Raise your hand, and we'll get you a microphone. Please state your name and affiliation before asking your question.
Similar question to Holmes. Obviously, you don't want to look at it now, but knowing that that you have most of your team coming back and that you can go at it, even though this year's disappointing, you can go at it every year now. It's a top team, and you don't have to worry about sliding back. And this program is elite now. Even if you didn't get what you wanted this year, you'll always have it going forward now and next year.
Well, I think it's always hard. Winning is hard. I think, once we get over the disappointment and the kids have a couple weeks off and then we regroup here, it'll be weird not to see Grace Berger, walk, excuse me, walk through that door. But yes, we have a lot to look forward to.
Coach Angela Morian, Wish TV in Indianapolis. When you got into that hole so early on,
right.
What was the cause of that?
Well, again, a lot of things. A lot of it, give Miami credit. They came out. We knew they were going to be physical. They got up in us. They made us uncomfortable. I didn't think we looked like we had any good rhythm, pace, flow to, what we were trying to do offensively. They came out and they stuck shots. They stuck shots and early and help build the lead. And when you're sticking shots like that, that gives you a lot of confidence. And then just like us, when we're sticking shots, it really energizes us defensively. And, so it had everything to do with, the way they came out and shot the ball early and well, and then, went down to the other end and made us uncomfortable. And it took us a while, I thought, to, get any kind of, into a comfort level. Mac was not very good in the first half. She was so much better in the second half. I think we can all agree with that. And so it took, it's been about 12 days since Mac's played any competitive basketball in terms of getting up and down. And we knew she would take a minute to sort of get her legs underneath her. But it's just, unfortunate because we've been so disciplined, and we had some slippage there on the defensive side of the ball, going under, 14, and just some other things that are uncharacteristic of our team, and it's unfortunate on a night where we needed to be so good and flawless almost defensively. We had a lot of hiccups throughout the 40 minutes.
Coach Mason Williams with the Hoosier.com. I know there's a lot of emotions with it, but kind of with Grace. Mm-hmm. You guys have been so close.
Sure.
What is what do you hope is the perception of her?
Oh shoot, she is she's helped build this program, and we're not sitting here where we are today. We weren't sitting here a year ago, probably 3 years ago, without Grace Berger on this roster. And so, just so grateful that, as I said, that she's, decided to become an Indiana Hoosier 5 years ago, when she had a lot of different options. She chose us, and we're so grateful. And again, she's going to be one of the very best to ever put on a uniform, and that's and I can't wait to see what's next for her. She's been an unbelievable kid to coach. She's been an unbelievable teammate. That's why they're so emotional about her, because she means so much to all of us. That's, I don't know if I can quantify in the words just how important she's been to us in this program.
Will Foley, Indiana Daily Student. Coach, especially down the stretch, you kept going back and forth, kept tying it, but you never had the lead in the game. You couldn't take the lead at the end.
Right.
What was it that made that barrier so difficult to break through?
Well, I mean, we got good shots. We got the shots we wanted. It just didn't go down. I mean, it's, easy to see, right? And then we couldn't get the stops. We felt like the whistle was quick tonight down there, especially in the second half. As physical as the game was, I thought the whistle was pretty quick down there, and we put them at the free throw line, and that's where they capitalized. That's where they hurt us, right? And you can't do that going down the stretch in a close game like that. Those are free. Those are free shots at the free throw line unguarded, and so. But we got the shots we wanted. We'll take that shot from Grace Berger. I'll take the layup from Chloe that she missed as well. They just didn't go down for us tonight. So we could have easily have probably climbed ahead, but it didn't happen. And we have to learn from it, and we will. We'll be better because of this experience, as we always are. And it'll take a couple days, but we'll move on.
Coach, Amanda Foster inside the hall. How do you coach your team through games like this when the tensions are so high, when there's frustration down the stretch with the whistles, just with the way the game's being played and how much it means to you guys?
Well, I think they were coaching themselves, and just reminding each other that a lot of things were not going to be in their control, and they couldn't complain and couldn't get frustrated. So I think that those guys collectively tried to remind each other just to stay level-headed, to try to continue to show composure, but also, we knew we had to guard, we had to get stops, and you can't fault the effort of these guys. I mean, they gave us every ounce of energy and effort, but they did. Miami made us pay, in the sense that they run great action, and we certainly had. We had some game slippage, and that was frustrating over there on the sideline. Whether we didn't communicate the way we needed to in a switch, whether we went under a ball screen. With the Cavender kid that is so deadly from outside. We did that. I think it was a 2-point game at that point, and then, we give up a 3, and then we go down 5, and it's because we went under a ball screen, and was not our game plan.
Coach Dave Reinhardt, WCBK. You was talking earlier about the runs throughout the game, and you got down double digits, and Chloe knocked down a 3, and then Mac, of course, with her back-to-back field goals there in the third quarter. But the play of Chloe handling the ball, Grace also, but Chloe, she's going to be back with you next year, and just some of your thoughts about her.
Yeah, Chloe has been so terrific all year, and especially in the absence of not having Grace, for a time, she has it's been so fun to watch the way she has handled herself from the time she was a freshman to the time she was a sophomore. You guys have heard me talk just about her story and the process and being patient and waiting for her opportunity and time. And she's walked in those doors every day and has just put her head down and has worked. She's a great teammate. She obviously was so instrumental in our success we had this year. when I'm excited that we got her, we have her for another year next year because, certainly having an experienced team, a kid that's been battle tested the way she has will bode well for us.
Lou Friedman, Seymour Tribune. Teri, it's never a given you're going to get the ball back in those last seconds, and you had a couple chances, and then Yarden hits the three. Mm-hmm. What went through your mind when you tied it, and what did you tell the players, this is what you got to do?
Well, you got to get a stop. That's what you got to do. You got to get a stop, and we didn't. They went inside to Harden, and we kind of overshot it a little bit and gave her just enough space that that thing I think hit every ounce of rim and went in. And then again, another hiccup. Chloe was supposed to get the ball quickly and inbound it to Grace. We had 3.8 seconds to get down the floor. Instead, we hit the panic button and Yarden takes it out, and then there's a little bit of confusion there. And so, in those moments you try to help them as much as you can, but again, we had an opportunity to get the length of the floor and perhaps get a shot, but again, Miami did a great job of closing the gap and knocking it out of Chloe's hands.
Kevin Vera, the Hoosier Network. Coach over here. You lost 4 games this entire year, but it was by just 12 points, a combined 12 points. Mm-hmm. When that margin is so small, mm-hmm. how do you just simply process the loss, knowing you were pretty much right there every game that you lost?
Well, again, it's just things that you build off of, and for the future, right? And we'll talk about all the historic moments, like I said, that we've had this year in this program. These guys have been so good, right? And it's at times frustrating because I think it's human nature for us to always remember the last game, right? Just like it was. When we lost in the Big Ten tournament to Ohio State, it was the last game, and everybody sort of wrote Indiana off. I felt like, right, that it was. These kids had won 27 games at that point, and it's that one game that everybody wants to talk about, and that's not fair to those kids. And so, as we move forward, we're gonna remember that, right? 12 points. You're 28-4. That's a great season. For a team that was picked third, I think, in the Big Ten and end up winning, this only the second Big Ten championship. You get a number 1 seed, which has never happened here in the history of Indiana women's basketball. And so there's been so many great things that have happened with our program, and I choose to focus on all the great things, right, instead of those 4 hiccups that we have. And like I said, it hurts right now, but it should. I mean, we work hard, and winning is hard. And those kids are upset. They're emotional right now. Their plans were, to win a national championship, and we haven't have no problems, talking about that goal. And so that will, we'll regroup, and then the goals will remain the same: to win another Big Ten championship, to, get to a Final Four. And, we've just done so many great things this year, and it's really hard. I'm sad, but golly, when I look back, I'm very proud.
Last one on the left.
Brian Hench, the Indianapolis Star. Sydney talked about coming to IU and that sort of reigniting her love for basketball, finding herself again, and she talked about the role that Grace played in that.
Sure.
How have you seen that develop with Sydney, and just the role that Grace has played in helping reignite that love?
Grace plays such a big role in all of our lives, because I'd love to say, and you guys know this, she's the biggest introvert you'll ever meet, but she is the best teammate. And she is just the most, coachable kid, the most competitive kid, and that resonates. When you have a kid that, she is no drama. She's not on social media. She doesn't need that platform. She just continues to do her work. She has a very business-like approach, and that again, that because of who she is, she touches so many people, and like kids like Yarden and Henna and Lexi and Sid, coming into our program. That's why this program has had the success, because they've had kids like Grace Berger who have led the charge. And so, Sid now is part of a program where being in the gym, which is something Sid Parrish has always loved to do, is now, it's fun for me, right? It's work, but it's fun. And so, for Sid to say that, she's regained her love, but also it's been a lot, it's been influenced by Grace Berger. Trust me when I tell you, I mean, she touches everybody in their own way. Just because of who she is as a kid, as a person, as a human being. I mean, I said this about Allie Patberg last year. It's hard to find kids that want to come in here every day with that business-like approach that, oh, by the way, are great human beings, and they just want to work, and they want to be great teammates, and they want to be respectful, and they want to, just help you, be successful.
Great. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank
and
you, guys.
Congratulations on a great season.